Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Hare Krishna Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sravana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadraitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sravana Lalita Shri Shakha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Sutete Tapta Kanchana Gaur. You was in Sloka number 2. We didn't quite finish it. Just a couple of things here. So we'll just read the Sanskrit verse 1. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Utasva Kashmalam Idam Vishamesham Upastitam Anarya Chushtam Asvaryam Abhiti Karam Arjuna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjun, how has these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets, but to infamy. So, last class we pretty much covered just Bhagwan Tattva, right? Bhagavad Tattva. So, here a couple of things that Lord Krishna is actually telling Arjuna. Kutaha is saying, Kutaha means where from. So Krishna is just, he was little surprised that where from all these impurities has come upon you. Indirectly says, I didn't expect you to behave like this because you are a Kshatriya, How comes? Hare Krishna. Being a Kshatriya, you shouldn't be, restrict yourself from fight, So where from all this impurity has come? And then it's saying Kashmalam. In this case, Krishna is mentioning is mal, it's like a dirty. Krishna is saying very impure and dirty things has come. So Krishna doesn't tell it's a very nice thing to have, because as a Kshatriya he's supposed to be fighting. And then in the second half of the verse, Krishna is mentioning 3 things which is oncoming. So first one is saying Anarya, because if you know in the in Vedic tradition they use the term Arya. Arya means person who follows the Vedic principles, properly, who is considered as Arya. They're saying you are actually Anarya, you're behaving like an Anarya. So actually the word Arya has been used in different ways, in different geographic locations. If you have did any little research or study during the British era, not British era, even maybe before that, before the World War, Germany actually when the Westerners came to invade India, because they was invading every country one after others, and they was thinking that we are the best. We are the best, and see all the words, they are not civilized. So we have to go and civilize them. So they was thinking, we're taking all the troubles to go in, and make everyone civilized. But then when they come to India, all other countries was, not really proper any Vedic principles or any of the religious principles was followed. But when they came to India, they were so systematic. Everything was just properly followed. Everyone is honest, humble, and very much focused in their duties. And they said, oh, this is much more than us. But because of their mindset was already there that they are the best, that's why they understood that we Indian Vedic system was following like a Arya. They was considered as a Arya Samaj. So they to make it a balance and not to say okay we are the best or they are the best. They are not the best because they can't compete with whatever the system in India was, and they don't want to give credit to India saying okay India has got much higher value than us. So they actually use the Arya term, saying Arya culture or society come from some region which actually all these people was from somewhere. They migrated into the Indian continent and also into the Europe, and whatever been migrated to Europe, that's what we're following, right? So they're saying okay we both has the same thing, but the origin is something else. They didn't accept the India as the origin of all this philosophy or the Vedic principles. So they said there was something else, but then it was never been made clear where was that origin came from. Right? So anyway, so that Arya was actually like emphasized in the European society by one personality, and that was being followed by the Nazis. And later on, Hitler actually followed that very, very much to actually prove that they are the best, and all other has to just follow it. They even used swastika and everything. So that's basically the history of Arya. So when we speak about Arya in a European terminology, they actually a little bit afraid to use these terms because this term was a lot of being misused to actually enforce some kind of people to show other people less important than them. So that's why they tried not to use it. But from the Vedic perspective, Arya is one who knows all the Vedic principle properly and follow it, in action. So that's Arya. So that's why Krishna is saying you behave like an Arya. So that's one of the like a little pushing. The other one is saying if you do like something like this one, it will be asvargim. So you will never attain heavenly planets. Like as a Vedic whoever died on battlefield, they by default goes to heavenly planets, if not to the spiritual world. So they say if you go away without fighting and get out of your prescribed duty, then you will not achieve the heavenly planets. So that's asvargam. So that's the second one, Anarya, asvargam, and third one is the akirti. And if you don't fight, then your kirti will be lost. All your kirti that you earn, say as a Arjun, will be lost, and people will say you are a coward. And as a Kshatriya, if someone tell you coward is worse than death. So basically Krishna is saying you're really not going to gain anything. But still Arjuna was giving all the benefits that if I skip the war, this will be saved, that will be saved. I won't be able to enjoy anyway. So what's the point of fighting? So Krishna here is telling that these three things will come upon you if you stop fighting, basically. Right? And if you notice, actually, also verse 2 and 3, till we'll look at verse 2 and 3, and then I'll make the point that when Krishna is talking here, what he is mentioning, up to what level he is guiding Arjuna and what level he is not. Right? And so, unless any questions, we'll go to verse number 3. Actually, I got an example. Kutam, just to understand Kutam a little bit more. It's like Krishna was a little surprised that, where from all this stuff has come upon you. It's like, someone, like I think everyone got to know in cricket. So, let's say in cricket, Dhoni's team, he prepared for the World Cup, and he get all the best bowlers and batsmen and someone like an all-rounder person, and he trained them nicely and get them all prepared for the World Cup. And then they go and just slowly moving into the World Cup, and here we go, we got a final match for the World Cup, right? It's a final match of the World Cup, and then he know that one bowler is very best because the other party, so it's the last 50th over, the other party only has to make 6 runs to win or something like that, let's assume. And then Mr. Dhoni keeps the very best bowler for the last over, saying, "You are the best. I want you to bowl for the last over, so they will just miss the ball and we'll be able to win it." So by the time 49 over is finished and other party only has to do 6 runs or something, and then Dhoni say, we say just Arjun whatever, Arjun Tendulkar whatever, come, we have to bowl it, and then he says, no, I don't want to bowl it because if I bowl, if other party made the runs, then we'll be losing. If I bowl and if my bowling isn't successful, we'll lose it. And things like that. So he starts shivering, saying, I can't do it. So that's the same situation is Arjun is actually telling that I can't, because all the match is set up. It's finally just about to, the biggest war of the world is starting, and now Arjuna is suddenly giving up because Krishna, as you can say, is the captain. And all the Kshatriyas actually rely on Arjuna from the Pandav side, that as long as we got Arjun and Krishna as his Sarthi, we're gonna win. But now Arjuna is putting down, saying I can't win. So it's a kind of the same situation to make us understand that is Arjuna's decision was fire or not based on some other example. So it's a bit more clear, is it? That where you need the most to fight or to bowl, you giving up, and that's not a fair judgment or decision. So that's what Krishna is trying to say, that it's all decided, there's no way back, you have to fight, right? And later on Krishna will make it more clear by giving the step by step of the knowledge to Arjuna, that why you should fight, and then Arjuna will be ready. So that's what Krishna is trying to tell Arjuna. Okay, any questions, comments?
Nothing. In this match, even umpire is in his side, so he has no way he can interfere.
Yeah. Umpire is telling you, okay, you just bowl, I'll, if you bowl nicely, they will out. If you don't bowl nicely, then.
Okay, I have one question. Okay, how we can know that, what is our fight?
Yeah, sorry?
Arjun knows that his fight, he has to fight with the Kauravas. But in our life, how we can know that what is our fight? We are struggling with many things, and we don't know what we have to do basically, and we are struggling. Then how to know that what we have to do exactly?
So let me understand the question first. You're trying to say that our fight is worst or bigger than Arjun?
Yeah.
Probably not.
We are struggling in this material world, and we are trying to going near to Krishna. And what happened? Some said that it's our previous karma, because of which we are suffering. And sometimes it is confusing that it's previous karma or it's our the recent karma.
Actually, if you don't mind, I'll park this question and we'll cover later on, because I got some example, and through that example we'll cover it, so it will be more easier to understand, because that's relating to that questions. So, but please remind me toward the end if I don't answer it. Okay. Any other questions, comment? Text 3. Klevyam masma gamah partha naitattvayupapadyate shudram hridaya dobalyam yakvo tishtha parantapah. O son of Prutha, do not yield to this degrading importance. It doesn't become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of enemies. Can someone read the purport from where he's saying Arjuna was the most intimate friend?
Arjuna was the most intimate friend of Krishna, and Krishna was directly guiding him on the chariot. But in spite of all these credits, if Arjuna abandoned the battle, he would be committing an infamous act. Therefore, Krishna said that such an attitude in Arjuna didn't fit his personality. Arjuna might argue that he would give up the battle on the grounds of his magnanimous attitude for the most respectable Bhishma and his relatives. But Krishna considered that sort of magnanimity were weakness of heart. Such false magnanimity was not approved by any authority. Therefore, such magnanimity or so-called non-violence should be given up by persons like Arjuna under the direct guidance of Krishna.
So here there are what Krishna is actually basically scolding Arjuna, or actually giving a small two little slaps. First one is klebyam. Klebyam means importance, or क्या बोलते हैं हम? Napunsak is basically saying this is like a napusank kind of attitude. Second one is saying it's a kshudram, kshudram hridaya daurbalyam, right? So hridaya daurbalyam is also one of it, but that's like a quality. Okay, through those two, like importance, being like importance and kshudra, अपना हृदय दुर्बल मत करो. ये दोनों हृदय की दुर्बलता है basically. That's what Krishna is trying to say. And then Krishna thought, Arjuna might be a little upset if I tell him like this, just to start with. And then Krishna tell him two things in parallel. So when he say klebyam, he again mention him as a parantapa. That you are the parantapa, you सामने वाला ओपोनेंट को तपाने वाला है युद्ध भूमि पे. मीन्स के ओपोनेंट जो पार्टी है ना उसको तपाने वाला, मीन्स के एकदम सामने वाली पार्टी को पूरे थकान बगान करके उसको गिरा देगा. सभी फाइटिंग में परंतपा है, सामने वाली पार्टी को तपाने वाला है. मीन्स के यू आर द बेस्ट इन बेसिकली इन द फील्ड इन फाइटिंग. तो पहले वो बोल दिया कि इम्पोर्टेंट है, फिर बोला कि परंतपा. तो ऐसा है, फिर ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हैं? ऐसे बोलते हैं ना, ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हैं? फिर दूसरा वाला बोला कि क्षुद्रम बोला, फिर दूसरी तरफ बोला कि पार्थ. तो मीन्स के यू आर एक्चुअली क्षत्रिय, you are the son of Prutha. How can you behave like a Kshudra? An example can be given like in a school, teacher. Sometimes topper students might sort of give up, मुझे study में नहीं करना, or I don't want to go for the exam because I might not get the first rank, or I might lose it, or I might fail due to whatever reason. So then sometimes teacher give example of a really dumb student, and through the dumb student, and then he says, look at your strength, you was better than him, and you passed this exam with this many grade, you passed that exam with this many grade. So similarly what Krishna is trying to say is initially saying you are dumb because you giving up. Even though you are the best, you prove it, you are the best in past, you were successful, but now you behaving like a dumb. So what's the point? Right? So similarly, as a student and teacher relationship, Krishna is saying kind of the same thing, that you are the best, why you behaving like a dumb? Yeah. जैसे अर्जुन को ऐसे बोले तो कह सकते हैं कि ऐसा कैसे आया, ऐसे नहीं बोल रहे कि you are important, because Krishna know that Arjuna is very powerful, but उसका जो अभी विचार आए है, that is of those kind of qualities, so he should give it up. That's what Krishna is trying to say. So what you can think that Krishna is speaking on verse number 2 and 3, and then again Arjuna starts. Right? So if you notice here, Krishna hasn't actually imparted any specific or any good knowledge. He only says what Arjuna is supposed not to do it. He didn't say him what he has to do it. Basically, till Krishna hasn't imparted any of the wisdom or knowledge. As a friend is saying, कभी-कभी हम फ्रेंड होता है ना कि कभी किसी से गलती हो जाती है तो फ्रेंड के पास जाते बोलता है, यार आपको ऐसा नहीं करना था. तो बोलते हैं ना कि ऐसा क्यों किया, ऐसा नहीं करना था. ऐसे कृष्णा ने भी अभी फ्रेंडली ऐसे बोल दिया कि यू शुडंट डू दिस, एज ए फ्रेंड ओनली. देन फिर अर्जुन फिर और 2-3 जस्टिफिकेशन, फाइनली जस्टिफिकेशन देंगे अभी. फिर बोला गया कि मेरे लिए श्रेष्ठकर क्या है, वो अपना मत देगा, फिर से कंफ्यूज हो जाएगा, फिर कृष्णा के चरणों में गिर जाएगा, फिर एक्चुअल भगवद गीता शुरू होगी. So any questions, comments? Nope, easy. Because I started going a little faster because otherwise I'm just stuck in one point and can't move. And I've been told by your boss that I have to focus and don't distract too much here and there, just keep focus and move ahead. So that's why sorry Prabhu, I couldn't get that that Golok chart, or Krishna and Vishnu and everything. I mean, and it's right, I realize that otherwise it's just gonna distract, from our focus study on Bhagavad Gita, so we wouldn't cover it. We might cover as a special program sometimes, but as of now we'll just continue. Otherwise, we'll lose the track. Okay, in 2.4, Arjuna is finally, he gave so many justifications, now he's putting the final arrow, like Kamdev, shooting the final, calm barn to Lord Shiva. He's saying, okay, let me try for the final time. So now he gave all the examples कि कुरु को सबको मार को क्या मिलेगा, इसको मार को क्या मिलेगा. अभी वो बोलेगा कि भीष्म और द्रोणा वो तो मेरे गुरु के समान है, मेरे वरदाता के समान है. How can I kill them? So he's giving the final in a very, very kind of strong justification. Right? So we'll go through that. Arjuna uvacha katham bhishmamaham sankhye dronam cha madhusudana ishubhi pratiyotsyami pujaha varishudana. Arjuna said, O killer of enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counterattack with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship? Here basically Arjuna is mentioning twice that, O killer of enemies and O killer of Madhu. And saying, you kill all the demons and now you want me to kill, Bhishma Pitama and Dronacharya. Actually, we'll read the purport. It's a very small purport, but Prabhupada mentioned very nice points there. So,
respectable superiors like Bhishma, the grandfather, and Dronacharya, the teacher, are always worshipable. Even if they attack, they should not be counter-attacked. It is general etiquette that superiors are not to be offered offered even a verbal fight. Even if they are sometimes harsh in behavior, they should not be harshly treated. Then how is it possible for Arjuna to counter-attack them? Would Krishna even attack his own grandfather, Ugrasena, or his teacher, Sandipani Muni? These were some of the arguments offered by Arjuna to Krishna.
Yes, Arjuna is indirectly trying to say that, will you attack Ugrasena Maharaj or your teacher, Sandipani Muni? Indirectly, Arjuna is asking and says this is the final counterattack that Arjuna is trying to say to justify his point. And then another verse, we'll cover verse 5 and then we'll discuss few points. Text 5. Guru nahatva hi mahanubhavan Shreyo bhoktum bhekshya mahivaloke Hatvatha kamanstu guru niheva Punjiya bhogan rudira pradigdhan. It would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. So because earlier, Arjuna thought Krishna might ask that, but they won't they want your opponent, like Bhishma Pitana and Dronacharya, they want to fight for worldly gains because Arjuna is they've been taken care by Kauravas, so that's why they was forced to fight for on their behalf. But even though that's the case, I shouldn't do it because as in the earlier verse that what Prabhupada actually put in the purport saying, for the elders we should always respect, even though they are harsh sometimes or they misbehave, we should still respect them, right? So that's what Arjuna is again trying to say. Even though they have a different attitudes, not the good attitude toward us, we still shouldn't kill them. Right? So we'll read the purport. Can Manas Prabhu?
According to scriptural codes, a teacher who engages in an abominable action and has lost his sense of discrimination is fit to be abandoned. Bhishma and Drona were obliged to take the side of Duryodhana because of his financial assistance, although they should not have accepted such a position simply on financial consideration. Under the circumstances, they have lost the respectability of teachers. But Arjuna thinks that nevertheless they remain his superiors, and therefore to enjoy material profits after killing them would mean to enjoy spoils tainted with blood.
So here if you see in text 5, in the second line is saying Shreya, right? So here actually Arjuna is kind of saying this will be Shreyaskar, it would be better. So it's talking about the Shrey. क्या श्रेय है? To live in this world by begging. भिक्षा मांग के रह लेंगे. That will be Shreyaskar for us than to fight. So Arjuna is giving his own decision. What is Shreya, right? And then again he will get confused, bewildered. And in the last line, if you see, it's a Rudira Pradigdhana, Rudir से लोहे से खरड़ित होगा. जब हम जो भी भोगेंगे बाद में, हम हमारे लोगों को मार के उसका लोहे के खरड़ित जो भी होगा उससे हमको सुख कैसे मिलेंगे. So he got a very good justification there, right? At this time to make. So at this stage, if you see that Arjuna is thinking that it's like a lose-lose situation. Even though we fight, it's lost. If we win from the fight, we still lose, because with whom we want to share the happiness, they won't be there anymore. And if we lose, then I lose anyway. Then I'll be killed. So I wouldn't get anything. So Arjuna is thinking the lose-lose situation. For either they end up winning or losing. That's why he says, I'm going to lose anyway, so why to fight, So that's Arjuna's justification. Then we'll see later on how Krishna, by a proper guidance, actually turned the lose-lose situation into the win-win situation. Saying, Krishna will mention that even though you win, you still win. Even though you lose, you still win. Because even though you lose, in battlefield, even though you've been killed, you will get a Swargaloka, which will be much more opulent than here. If you win, then Apurtika Raj will win. Which Arjuna earlier said that even though पूरी तीनों लोगों का राज्य मिल जाए, फिर भी मैं सुखी नहीं हो पाऊंगा. But then Krishna will give different justification there. So we'll see step by step how Krishna is providing all the justifications. Any questions, comments? Okay. Verse number 6. न चैतद्विद्मः कतरन्नो गरीयो यद्वा जयेम यदि वा नो जयेयुः यानेव हत्वा न जिजीविषामः देवस्थितः प्रमुखे धर्मराष्ट्रः. Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of the Drashtra, we should not care to live, yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. The same thing he mentioned in chapter 1, he's repeating the same thing. So he's again just giving that justification. So, Malik, can you read the translation?
Arjuna did not know whether he should fight and risk unnecessary violence, although fighting is the duty of Kshatriyas, or whether he should refrain and live by begging. If he did not conquer the enemy, begging would be the only means of subsistence. Nor was there certainty of victory, because either side might emerge victorious. Even if victory awaited them, still, if the sons of Dhritarashtra died in a battle, it would be very difficult to live in their absence. Under the circumstances, that would be another kind of defeat for them. All these considerations by Arjuna definitely proved that not only was he a great devotee of Lord, but he was also a highly enlightened and had a complete control over his mind and senses. His desire to live by begging, although he was born in the royal household, is another sign of detachment. He was truly virtuous, as these qualities combined with his faith in the words of instructions of Sri Krishna indicate. It also concluded that Arjuna was quite fit for liberation. Unless the senses are controlled, there is no chances of elevation to the platform of knowledge. And without knowledge and the devotion, there is no chances of liberation. Arjuna was competent in all these attributes, over and above his enormous attributes in his material relationships.
Was the point taken? Any points you can think of? Should we read it again? No?
One point is that if there is no Kaurava, then there is no competition, there is no competitive, and with whom they will enjoy, with whom they will show their opulence.
Yeah. So that's one of the justifications, that once all the Kauravas or the sons of Dhritarashtra die, with whom they will share the opulence and live. So one sentence or one paragraph I want to read again is, all these considerations by Arjuna definitely proved that not only was he a great devotee of the Lord, but he was also highly enlightened and had complete control over his mind and senses. His desire to live by begging, although he was born in a royal household, is another sign of detachment. So the question might be asked, if Arjuna was completely detached, generally we say, person who is completely detached, happiness or sorrow doesn't affect him, what's going around in the world doesn't bewilder him. So then we can ask why Arjuna was still bewildered. He wasn't peaceful, obviously, at that time. Because if he noticed before, he was shivering and he put his Gandiva down. Yeah, and then he again giving justification to Krishna. So he's definitely bewildered. If he was completely detached, then why he would still be bewildered? Any questions for me? Mataji? Malay Prabhu थोड़ा कम देखा है भले न हो जाए कुछ. Let's take an example, and your answer might come somewhere in it, or else we'll elaborate more. Let's say there is a ghee lamp, when we do like a ghee lamp. So what's there in a ghee lamp?
Ghee and cotton.
There is a ghee. Sorry.
Fire and cotton.
Yeah. So ये ज्योति है, इसमें इसमें घी है, ठीक है। So, इन दोनों का मिलन होता है तो फिर क्या होता है?
प्रकाश.
So I don't know whether anyone mentioned, but that's suddenly, you know, I was sleeping during lunchtime, and I was thinking about meditating on how to sort of understand this, and suddenly I got a example which you can say whether that's okay or easy to understand. But anyway, so that's like what I understood as the ghee or oil is considered as a detachment, and the fire or jyot is considered like a jnana. Or, I mean, detachment, or you can say vairagya. Ghee is like as a vairagya, and lamp as a jnana, right? ठीक है. जब दोनों का मिलन होता है तो फिर प्रकाश होता है. That is becomes bhakti. Yeah. But just think that what Arjuna's problem here now, that's I'm trying to relate with Arjuna. Arjuna's problem here now is that he's proved that he is detached because he doesn't own anything for himself, right? So he is completely detached. So he had full vairagya, but he's bewildered because he didn't have the knowledge. If you put, you know, there is a big bowl, you know, if you put a lot of ghee, you just keep putting ghee, but you don't even, the fire or jyoti isn't there, then it wouldn't work. Even though jyoti little bit there, if you just keep pouring more and more, it will just take over the jyoti, you know, and then everything will be just gone. So what point I'm trying to make is, it has to be balanced. जितना वैराग्य आएगा उतना जितना ज्ञान आएगा उतना सामने वैराग्य होना चाहिए. तो जितना वैराग्य है तो जितना वैराग्य का हम ट्राई कर रहे हैं तो उतना ज्ञान लेने का भी ट्राई करना पड़ेगा. If we only focus on one thing, then we're gonna lose the other one, and then it will be unbalanced and it won't work. कभी-कभी हम लोग देखते हैं कि सब कुछ छोड़ देते हैं, ठीक है, पूरा वैराग्य हो जाता है, बाबा बन के कपड़े भी नहीं बन के घूमते हैं शुरू होता है. फिर कुछ टाइम बाद, you know, they start finding it, you know, really boring and nothing really much in there, and they again come back from Himalayas wherever and start hospitals and this and that, start get them engaged. Or sometimes they don't even seek for knowledge, and sometimes they go for knowledge, but again it's not practically applied, you know, because उसका प्रकाश नहीं मिला. कुछ बल्ब तो किया इधर, ज्योति जला दी, लेकिन पास में सब कुछ वो डाल दिया. वो क्या वो कटोरा डालते हैं ऊपर ताकि प्रकाश क्या कि फोन न लगे, इसलिए हम तो डालते हैं. लेकिन उसने ऐसा कर लिया कि प्रकाश कहीं जाए ही नहीं, जिसके भक्ति को पूरा कवर कर लिया. फिर वैराग्य और ज्ञान में के चक्कर में पूरा करने करके उसमें ही सब कुछ बना लिया. तो फिर उसकी भक्ति कभी खिली नहीं, तो ही विल गोना फॉल डाउन. प्रकाश तो आया नहीं उसमें से, तो कोई फायदा नहीं हुआ. ठीक है, तो all I'm trying to say is it has to be balanced. If घी डालता ही नहीं है और हम जोत कितनी भी बड़ी जला दे, तो कभी कभी तो हो जाए कि सिर्फ हम घी जो वो होती है ना, रूह की क्या बोलती है, हाँ वीक है, तो सिर्फ घी ही डालेंगे, फिर अलग से ऊपर से घी नहीं लगेगा. तो कुछ देर के लिए घी जब पूरी जलना शुरू हो, बहुत बड़ा वो जोत जलेगी ना, थोड़ी देर के लिए बहुत अच्छी जोत जलेगी, लगेगा चलो आज तो मजा आ गया, इतना ज्ञान पे इकट्ठा कर लिया, इतना ज्ञान हो रहा है. लेकिन डिटेचमेंट, वो वैराग्य नहीं, तो कुछ टाइम में सब चला जाएगा, ठीक है ना. और ज्यादा घी डाल दिया तो फिर जोत नहीं जलेगी, फिर सब उसमें चला गया, वैराग्य में उसमें पूरा फोकस चला गया. तो जब बैलेंस है तभी चलेगा. वैराग्य ज्यादा हो गया, देन यू नो घी ज्यादा है तो हम वी कैन गेट अनदर वीक एंड पुट इट देयर, राइट. तो फिर ज्यादा बड़ी जोत जलेगी. इससे भी ज्यादा घी हो रहा है तो वी पुट थर्ड वन एंड फोर्थ वन लाइक दैट, एंड फिर बड़ा हो जाएगा. लेकिन वहाँ उतना घी होना चाहिए. डिटेचमेंट ज्यादा है, डिटेच जितना ज्यादा होते जाते हैं तो फिर वी कैन फोकस मोर ऑन, यू नो, अच्छी तरह से ज्ञान ग्रहण करके देन वी कैन गेट इट टू द प्रॉपर भक्ति. सो जस्ट टू यू नो मेक अ पॉइंट दैट Arjuna was actually, he seems to be completely detached, but he didn't actually have the right knowledge what to do, what not to do, so that's why he was confused. So What